Would you like to know how to make an online course video for free and make money? Or are you thinking to yourself, Dale, I just want to publish books and get things done with. What's the deal with making online courses? Why do you keep pushing this? It's for very good reason. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and cover that in full detail in today's podcast. So make sure that you stay tuned. Today's podcast is sponsored by Thinkific. If you want to turn your book into an online course, you can do it through Thinkific. Start with 30 days free when you visit dalelinks.com/Thinkific. Again, that's dalelinks.com/Thinkific. And oddly enough, there is a little bit of a great segue in here because we are going to be talking about how to make an online course video for free and make money. So here it is. I always start with the problem, folks, so we're going to go ahead and start with the problem every single time. Now, the problem I normally see is a lot of indie authors are doing a great job. That's not a problem. They're doing a great job. They're getting their books out. They're becoming prolific authors. Yet, they're falling short of what they could really maximize in this business. Because, folks, this business should be much more than the book. You have to get out from behind your keyboard. And every now and then, you got to interact with the world in different capacities, be it making media appearances, speaking engagements, maybe even going to a library, doing a networking meeting. All these things add up to getting beyond the book. Because, sure, we could run Amazon ads. Yeah, we can even run Facebook ads. Or, we could even do Google ads. But all these things cost money, all right? Cost money and cost time. I kind of like to look at the things that will produce me money without having to invest too much. Now, that's not always true for everything, but for this one right here, I'm going to show you how to make an online course, at least tell you. You got to kind of mentally visualize this if you're happening to listen to the podcast. But you're going to kind of get to see that you can make an online course for free and make money. So let's go ahead. We're going to take it just one step at a time. Exactly why do we want to do this? Because here's the thing is, let's just pretend every now and then during the summertime, most authors start to see a little bit of a dip in their sales. If they haven't launched anything, then they're going to probably see their sales dip. So we need to kind of find some other ways to diversify our brand. Be it making a YouTube channel, be it that we're going to be doing, some type of video, DVD, Blu-ray, all these type of things. But to me, I think the path of least resistance is just creating a back end, getting it to where people are going to purchase something that's much higher ticket than, say, your book, or get it to where they're getting something that they consume to go and see your other books. Sure, people can say the power is in the email list. Yeah. We got an email list, but after so many times, if you only got 1, maybe 6 books to sell to your subscribers, after a bit, they're going to be kind of burnt. They're going to be like, oh, here comes Dale with one of his, this book. Yep, I've already got it, dude. I already bought all 6. In fact, I got 5 copies of it already. But now we can kind of break it up if we're diversifying through things like merch or doing things that are a little outside the box, including an online course. So some of you fiction authors out there might be going, well, this is great for nonfiction. Yeah, it's great for nonfiction. Super simple because essentially, if you're doing, for instance, how to stop drinking, you can literally put together a course on how to stop drinking. But for fiction authors, it's going to be a bit more problematic, but I'm sure if you can kind of use your imagination and your creativity, which you as a fiction author, that's what you do, then chances are pretty likely you'll come up with a solution that makes sense. And I'm going to give you just a few small steps to kind of figure out for yourself the direction you want to go. And I'm speaking to both fiction and nonfiction authors. So let's just start out with the whole online course area. How do we do this? It's going to start out with step 1, all right? You got to drive the traffic, okay? From where are you driving traffic? Don't set up shop until you get this right. So you need to kind of know, first of all, okay, where are they coming from? Are they coming from your books? Okay, awesome. That's good. Are they coming from social media? All right. Figure out where the traffic's at because otherwise the next steps aren't going to make any sense. And You trying to just blindly put up a course and hope for the best and hope that maybe Google will index your course, that's not a good business plan. We got to figure out where our audience is at, and we got to meet them somewhere in the middle. Let's say that I'm involved in a Facebook group and for my given niche of, let's say, DIY home repairs. And I'm inside of DIY home repairs. And a few of them are some of my readers. There's my traffic. So now I've identified where the traffic's coming from. That way, the next steps can kind of make sense. So step number 2, here we go. Pull your audience. Make it simple for them, okay? Don't give them 50 choices or anything else like that. Heck, you can just start it out with, if I made an online course, what would you expect to see in it? Or if I did A, B, or C, which one would be the most interest to you? What I found was easiest, a good friend of mine, James Ranson, we were having a conversation once, and I was kind of lost as to what I could be doing to provide for my following. And he's like, well, just pull them, man. Just pull your audience. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I just literally said to my audience, hey, what are some of the worst hangups that you have in this business of self-publishing? And the things I thought they were going to answer ended up being way different. So this is why you want to pull your audience. That way it gives you kind of a proof of concept and knowing that you're heading the right direction. So it's essentially like getting a cheat sheet. You're able to kind of like, oh, okay, here we go. This is what my audience wants. So you as fiction authors, remember I said I wasn't going to ignore you fiction authors. Get with your readership. Get with people in your niche. Find out some other successful people and try to model them, because there's a good chance there are some fiction authors out there that also have their own online courses or something resembling an online course of sorts. Now, when I say online course, by the way, folks, it doesn't always have to be a course like someone's learning something. It could be like, say, a short video series or some downloadable PDFs like the character profiles of one of your fiction books. Some of these things, you just got to think outside the box. Now, the next step you're going to need, we've already done the traffic, we've pulled the audience, and now it's time to just outline that concept. You got to take your time. It's kind of like when we write our books, outline it. Go piece by piece and figure out, okay, I'm going to start here and I'm going to end here. It doesn't need to be anything sexy. It doesn't need to be anything perfect. Just write something out that is a general outline. And this part shouldn't take too long. I would say just brain dump everything out and just mind map it the best that you can, and then organize it into a sensible fashion, because as you start to put together your course, you'll kind of know how to put everything in the most sensible order. So the next step is going to be shoot quick and dirty videos. All right, so let's say you're not much of a video person. Just at least consider these 3 types. You've got explainer style videos. Explainer style videos typically are like, animated. You can get some of them done over on Fiverr. There's actually like a app that's called Doodly and Toonly. I actually own it. I've never used it because I'm more of a, I'm kind of the guy who likes to get on video, which is the next one is talking head. So typically I'm doing a talking head style video. And so there's that other type. And then last but not least is, this one's a popular one, PowerPoint. You just get a PowerPoint presentation, you put all that stuff together, and you've got it. Voila. Again, I say shoot quick and dirty videos, but as you kind of think to yourself like, I really don't want to do videos, Dale, you can always just revert back to one of the recommendations I already said, is downloadable PDFs with character profiles, or maybe like a checklist of some sort. Think outside the box. When I say course, it doesn't need to be anything huge. They don't need to be spending 15 hours consuming your content. It could be just a simple 3 to 5 minute thing for them. Nothing big here, folks. All right, so step number 5, set up an account. All right, so I already kind of did a shameless plug earlier here for my sponsors. Sponsors again, Thinkific. If you just head over to dalelinks.com/Thinkific, you can set up 30 days free on the Pro plan. And those of you that are like, oh, but Dale, I really don't want to put my credit card down. Okay, that's totally cool. Get this. Okay, if you just don't want the 30 days free, that's fine. Maybe you don't have a credit card, you don't have anything like to put it down. That's okay. Go to Thinkific's actual 100% free access. It's going to have its limitations, but that's okay, because guess what? I've seen many people that have used this, and I will tell you how I did it myself using their free plan. But you go to selfpublishingwithdale.com/think. Now, I'm not going to put that inside the show notes. You're going to get the show notes for the 30 days free one, but if you want the free access, 100%, you got to remember this, selfpublishingwithdale.com/think. And it's going to send you on over to the free plan. You can get all signed up. At any rate, those are affiliate links, by the way, folks, just so you know. And so the next steps I'm going to kind of share with you, and I'm going to just kind of illustrate a story here, because it was about nearly 2 years ago that I decided to launch my own solo course in the DIY publishing course. And I did it through Thinkific. What I did was I got their free plan. So you remember that free plan I was telling you about? Not just the 30 days free pro plan, because that wasn't available to me at that time. Come on, Thinkific. What are you doing with me here? And what I did was I set up the free one. All I did was I polled my audience to see if there was a demand, like if anybody wanted to have a course. The next thing I did was I created an outline. And I had 2 parts. It was my beginner's course and my advanced course. And I plowed through the beginner's course because I was like, either way, if nobody wants it, I can always at least set this up for free, which oddly enough, it is now free these days. It used to cost. And then if I saw enough demand, I would go ahead and do the advanced course. So this comes to the next step that I'm going to go ahead and tell you about, which is step number 6, the beta launch. Now, what you're going to do is you've already polled your audience. You build a little bit of hype around this course that's going to be launched, and you release beta access to maybe a select few people. Maybe you've got an email list and you just offer to them, and you do it at a lower than low discounted price. Why do you want to do this? What it's going to do is, first of all, either A, you could keep the money for yourself, but the sad thing is with the free account, they take 10% of your earnings. So what I did was I created a plan to where 25 of the people would purchase at, say, $37 a piece. And then when that 25 people had purchased that, I was able to upgrade to a pro plan, and then it unlocked everything. Now, again, you could just pocket that money and just deuce out and be like, that's it. I just want that money, and you can kind of continue on. But once when you do hit a goal, I would recommend that you over-deliver. Under-promise, over-deliver. So as soon as people had signed up for this beta access, what I did was I would go for a full launch 30 days later, and I would release the advanced content. So in that beta launch, all you're doing is just giving them hope. You're selling them on a promise. You got to make sure you deliver on that promise, and then you're going to be all set. So it worked really, really well for me, and it's worked for me for the last couple of years, and I imagine it'll work for me next year as well. When it comes to Thinkific, I've never paid for their pro plan, because every single time I'm just pretty much reaching out into the audience and having them pay for it. And I know that some of you are watching this probably already have access to the DIY publishing course in some capacity. Think to yourself, if you've gone through the process, like start to connect the dots and go, oh, I see what Dale did there. It's nothing sneaky. It's nothing tricky. It's just something that you're able to give back to your audience. But in the same instance, you can, first of all, not have to pay for access to any premium courses, course creation platforms, and you're able to make money. And that's ultimately really nice. So when you start to go through, like, say, a down slump, it comes, you'll see, when you're in this business for a few years, you're going to start to see the ebbs and flows. And the times that it ebbs is the time that you need to double down on products like this, like an online course. So I told you about the beta launch. We got to kind of create a sense of scarcity, by the way. First 25 people, and I'm going to be increasing it. I'm going to double it. It's up to you how you end up increasing it. Or maybe after the first 25 people are in the door, or the next 30 days, we're going to increase it to the full retail price, or maybe half the retail price, and then it'll be for like that next week. You see what I mean? But here's the deal is, once when you get ready to launch it, this is step number 7, price increase it on launch. Don't be that person. Don't be that online marketer that's telling people, a bunch of false scarcity. If you're going to say something, do it. Be all about it. Don't just sit here and bluff people. And when it was funny, actually, I don't call it funny, but Go figure, as soon as I had went for full launch and people had missed out on the beta pricing, they were coming back and saying, oh, I want to get it at the beta pricing. No, I told you it was going to be closed on X day and you missed it. And they were like, can't you create an exception? No, absolutely not. It's not me trying to be a jerk, but I want to kind of be that guy that is going to do what I say I'm going to do. So I've got one final tip before we start to wrap things up today. I know it's kind of crazy. It's a little bit faster than I normally do for the podcast here. So I want to, first of all, bring to your attention that every Wednesday and Saturday, we're going to be on YouTube Live. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime, and every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Daytime. That's at dalelinks.com/live. Again, that's dalelinks.com/live. And also, hey, listen, folks, you're listening to a podcast. Join me every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Daytime on Twitch at twitch.tv/self-publish. That's where I'm actually recording this right this minute. I'm doing that right here over on Twitch. So you want to make sure that you join me for the podcast. We're actually usually a week ahead, so you're able to kind of get a sneak peek behind there. And you can actually follow me on Twitch. That's free to do, or you can even subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. Subscriptions help support the channel. You can actually find more details about it. If you don't know how to navigate and use Twitch, you can always check out my other video series on my sister channel called dalelinks.com/Twitch101. Again, that's dalelinks.com/Twitch101 for all those tales. So, you know, it's about that time. You know what time it is? It's time for the bonus tip. And I love doing this because anytime I'm live, I say the bonus tip and I get to press the button because the button's fun. I mean, because why not? So here's the deal. You've gone through the trouble, yet you drove the traffic, you've polled your audience, you outlined the concept, you shot the quick and dirty videos, you set up an account through Thinkific, you've done the beta launch, okay, and hopefully successfully drove enough revenue to make it worth your while, and you increase the price on the full launch. So now what do we do? What comes next? Well, here's the beauty of it. You can build an email list from the signups. That's simple. Crazy, right? You build an email list from the signups. Now, you could do this for free or even paid courses. Just make sure that you build into your terms of service when someone signs up that they know exactly what they're getting into. So in other words, you just can't just grab these emails and just start blindly marketing them. You need to build something in there so when people sign up through your Thinkific account, they are going to be notified that, hey, look, you're going to become part of the email newsletter. In the event that you don't want to really get that, you can always just unsubscribe and then you're done with it. So this is one of the simplest ways to drive traffic in different ways because we've got that email list now. And I'll be honest with you that I find the greatest open rate comes for people that are subscribed through by way of an online course, because obviously they've already trusted you to go pick up your online course. After that, then they're able to get subscribed to your newsletter. So they're probably going to open up your newsletter and they're going to check out what you have to offer and they're going to be interested in what you have to say. So what do you think? I always love to hear from each and every single one of you. And I know that you're probably listening on one of various platforms, be it Apple, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, about a dozen different platforms. And speaking of, subscribe or follow me on your preferred podcast platform. And if you can do so, leave a review. That'd be really awesome of you. In the meantime, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will talk to you next week.